Okay, what we're going to do in this tutorial is just get a bit more practice with creating functions in JavaScript, functions that actually do something. So in this tutorial, we're going to create a function called flipCoin. And what we're going to do is we're going to generate a random number. We'll just use mat.random the way we've seen before. And we know that'll give us a number between 0 and just under 1. And what we'll do then is we'll just have an if statement where basically if the random number is below 0.5, we will return heads, else we will return tails, and we'll just log that out to the console. Just to get a bit more practice with functions, this is the JavaScript for Beginners course, so if you're watching this, you might be new to JavaScript and functions. So I'll let you decide if you want to use the function keyword and do a function declaration, or if we'll do an arrow function. In the last tutorial, we did a function declaration, so I'd like us to do an arrow function in this tutorial. So what I'll do is I'll use the keyword const, give our function a name. I'll call it flipCoin. Note the use of camel case there. We have our equal sign, we have our parentheses, and then our equal sign and chevron, i.e. our little arrow. And then we're going to have our curly braces. And all of the code in between here will run when the function is invoked or called. Okay? So inside of this function now, what we can do is just generate a random number. I'm going to say let random number be equal to, and I'm going to say mat.random and parentheses. So we've seen this before, so this will generate a random number between 0 and like 0.99999. So basically between 0 and 1, but not quite, okay? And then what we're going to do is, based on that random number, we're going to basically return either heads or tails. So if random number is less than 0.5, what I want to do is just return heads, else I want to return tails, okay? So this is just a very basic function that just returns if a random number, that just returns if a coin flip was heads or tails. And then what we can do is store that in a result. So we'll say let result be equal to, and we're just going to call or invoke our flipCoin function. So flipCoin, so to store the result, so heads or tails, of this arrow function into a variable, we say let result be equal to, and we know we need to call or invoke the function by writing out the name of the function and then having our parentheses there, okay? And remember, there's no argument or parameter defined for this function. We're not passing in, I mean, you could if you wanted. We could code up how many times do you want to flip the coin, and based on that run a loop. So you could do that if you wanted. So let's just say console.log results. And let's see what we get. And we get heads. If I refresh again, heads, tails, tails again, heads, tails, 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 heads, tails. Awesome. Okay, so guys, that is how we can create a function that just mimics the result of a coin toss in the real world. This function basically returns heads or tails. And one of the great things about using mat.random is we can get the computer to basically generate a random number and make a decision off that. We've seen that before. Okay, awesome. So guys, that was that tutorial. That is how we can create a function to flip a coin in JavaScript.